Okay. So, uh, tell me your name.
My name is Dillon.
Okay.
I'm age 24.
All right. So, what about your clans?
My first clan is Salt Clan, and
Mm-hmm.
my second clan is Mexican.
Mm-hmm.
My dad is from Mexico. My mom is Salt. She's from Dillion. So,
Okay. All right. So, my name is Michelle Brock. I am, I think, could be 41. I think I'm 41. And my clans, I'm Sadishkishni. Uh, my dad is Kiaani. My Chays are Clash and my Nollies are Nakaidene. So, if my Chays are Nakaidene and
you're my Nolly then.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
nice. Glad.
Yeah. Yeah. So, are you homeless?
At the moment, yes, I am. We left home in Pinion. Just ended up trying to make it out towards Prescott, but we ended up getting stuck here.
Mm. So, how did you become homeless?
Well, I became homeless because of my mom and my dad. They've been partying ever since I was born, and it's been an on and off thing, but mostly on. I
Mhm.
mean, they stopped every once in a while when my sisters were born, but they always got right back on it. They were on meth and they drank,
Mhm.
and it's caused a drug-induced psychosis.
Mhm.
And to them, they don't think I'm the son no more. They don't recognize me as the son. And I was like, if you don't recognize me as your son, why should I even be here? I mean, I've been taking care of you guys for as long as I can remember. And, you know, at home, it was, there was fighting all day, every day. There was fights, I had to do stuff for my mom and my dad that they should be doing on their own but they can't do it because they're either drunk or they're just too hopped up off of drugs. And that's the main reason why I left the house, just to get a have a good life, start a good life. Man, I was originally gonna be out here by myself, but my sister wanted to come along with me, and she said, I don't want to be here alone. I don't want to be home alone, so it's me and my sister right now. We were on our way to Prescott, but we ended up getting stuck here.
What was in Prescott?
My dad's side of the family.
Oh,
My
okay.
dad's Mexican. He came out here. He's living out here on the reservation for shit, more than 24 years now. Since I
Mhm.
more than I've been born, more longer than I've been born alive. Yeah. So probably I say like 26, 27 years he's been out here on the reservation. And my dad's side is out there. So I wanted to go see if they could be able to take us in, see if they'll be able to help us get a job, get us back on our feet because this being out here, being homeless, it ain't nothing. I mean, this really ain't the life.
Mhm. Can you talk about what safety looks like while you're on the street?
Well, me personally, I don't really conversate with a lot of people. I'm always, I would say, kind of like a lone wolf, just walking around by himself. I mean, yeah, I have my sister, but I mean, I'm walking around out here. I keep my head on a swivel.
Mhm.
I always keep my head on a swivel, and I know how to fight. I know how to protect myself, and it's just those people that think they're all that, and they wanted to like show off and see if they can punk you out. But I ain't no punk. I won't let nobody punk me out. And I keep something on me just to make sure that if it gets to that point, like somebody pulls out a weapon or something, I mean, I have something of my own, you know, just to keep me safe. It makes me feel better. It makes me, at least as I have something with me, I'll be fine. And keeps my sister peace of mind too, knowing that I have something with me. And in case somebody wants to act up, I'll be fine out
Okay. So, what happens at night out here?
here. All the night owls come out, basically, the druggies and whatnot. A lot lot of people move stuff at night because they can't see you can't really be seen. You know, you can hide in the shadows and whatnot. A lot of homeless people come out here, but they choose to be homeless because they're on drugs. Their drugs taking over their life to the point where either their family doesn't want them home or they just don't want to be home. You know, me in my situation, I would love to be home, but it's the same thing at home. I mean, like I said, drugs and alcohol running my family, and I'm not like that. I stopped that a long time ago. And people do come out, and they try to buy, people walking around and whatnot. People do sell themselves out here, and people do ambush you. Like a couple nights ago, or I think about a week ago, I got jumped. I got jumped back here when I was trying to walk towards back to the tent where we stay at, and there was a couple, a man and a wife. They were crouching down in the bushes, and I was walking right there in the ditch. They jumped out and they jumped on me and started attacking me, and I started calling out for my sister. My sister heard me yelling. She came out running, and by that time they already did something bad. They messed up my face. One of them bit me on my cheek. I don't even know how that happened. And the past few days I was just sore. I'm happy that I'm not that sore no more, but I would say I try not to be out here too late, but I have been out here late enough just to see what happens. A lot a lot of the times it's mainly just somebody trying to get their fix. For the end of the night, a lot of people are like that out here.
Do you trust the police?
Um, in a way, yeah. I mean, you know, if you call the cops on something, they'll do the bare minimum just to make sure that, just to satisfy you, see that, to show you that they tried to do something. They'll do the bare minimum. They won't even try to go out there and do whatever just to make you like go out there and see if they can catch whoever or make you feel safe. They'll just do just the bare minimum and make sure that you feel safe at the time. But when it really comes down to it, they're really not gonna do nothing.
They're not there, huh?
They're not there at all. Yeah, basically.
in in our culture they talk about kef, like I think they say like people like in family systems, when kids are having trouble at home, that people can go to extended relatives and whatnot. It sounds like you were trying to get out to Prescott to see your family. um I guess maybe could you talk a little bit about that, about your experience with Kef, and like I don't even know how this question's coming out. Maybe we just scrap
It's
the
like
whole question.
care is like it's respect, right? Or is that like kind of
Well, yeah, it's also there. Cat can be looked at several ways,
yeah?
and I really don't want to make this like a whole video about cat, but cat can be looked at in relation. Like how you and I gave our clans, and we were able to say, oh well, this might be how we're related in some way.
Yeah.
And then also cat can be like looked at as like how you go and help people. Like cat says, like you have to first help yourself before you can help somebody else. And then once those things are, taken care of, like yourself, your family, your children, whatever, however that looks, and then you can begin going out, to your family, and you help your family. And then once everybody there is taken care of, then you can go out and expand to friends. And then once you have your friends and your family and everybody's taken care of, then you can go out and expand that out to like, people in your community, and it just kind of sort of extends outwards. Do do what does Kef look like in your family?
Well, I only have my grandma now. I mean, she's like mean, I don't have no aunties, no uncles. That's my mom. My mom was the only child, and I only had my grandma. My grandpa split a long time ago, and my grandma's old. She can't really take care of us no more, and I don't want to have to put a burden on her just to have us being in our house. And out there, there's not much work, like opportunities out there. So that's why I decided to go out to Prescott, see if I can make my way out there, because I wanted to make a better life for me and my sister, and see if I can make enough money just to send it back to my grandma for helping us throughout the times. I mean, she was mainly there more than my mom and my dad. And
Shout out to grandparents, huh?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Without my grandma, I wouldn't know where I would be.
So I got another question for you.
Yeah.
We kind of like passed the 10 minute mark. So, but like I said, I'll go ahead and compensate you for that still. So we'll probably run up to 15 minutes. If
I
that's
mean,
okay with
we
you.
can keep on going if you
Yeah.
want.
Well, I want to make sure that we keep the boundary, and then
Yeah.
like make sure we stick to that.
Sounds good. Yeah.
So one of the things is I wanted to know is like what did you want to be when you grow up? When you grow up, like when you were a child, what did you want to be?
When I was a kid, um, I wanted to be a cop. I wanted to be a police officer. But when I grew up, knowing that what they do is at a very serious level, and my mental mind, I've seen so much. I seen so much in my young life. My 24 years of life, I've seen so much. I don't think I want to see any more, you know, anything bad happen to a person. I've seen so much stuff happen to a person, and I don't want to see anything else like that. So I ended up changing that, and I wanted to be a firefighter. Yeah.
What do you want to in your everyday life? What do you enjoy most?
My everyday life, I like talking to people. I don't talk to people on a daily basis. I mean, on a daily basis, I do talk to people. I sell jewelry. I sell jewelry just to support me and my sister, make sure we get something to eat for the day. And just meeting the nice people of the world that are still here. There's still nice people out here. A lot of them can be mean. I always kill them with kindness, because that's what my grandma always told me and my sister always told me. Kill them with kindness. If they're ever mean to you, kill them with kindness. They'll probably feel bad about it, and they'll come back to you and just be like, "Hey, I'm sorry." And the love that I get from a lot of people, because some people, they understand the situation I'm in, because either they themselves are in that same situation as I am in right now, or they lived through it already and they made it. And them giving me hope, saying that I can make it really makes my mind want to just keep on going. Makes me not want to give up, because it's so easy to give up. I mean, I fight demons every day. I mean, I'm to be honest, I'm 7 years sober, and
Good for you.
it's hard
Yeah.
when there's nothing but drugs and alcohol around you. It's hard,
Yeah.
but I try to stay away from it, because that's why I just run by myself. Everybody out here that was walking around is either on drugs or on alcohol. I mean, I have no time for that. Don't. But,
If if you had a chance to sit with a politician, what would you want them to know?
man, I want them to try and help our native people. If the politicians were to come out here to the reservation and see how our people live, and how everything is. I mean, we barely even have. I mean, yeah, we have a hospital. I mean, we have a police department and everything. But if you live out way out in the boonies when there's nothing, there's only the neighbor next to you, and probably just like, you know, just to chop the house, you gotta go way out there, probably like another 90 miles to get to a grocery store just to buy yourself some food. I mean, if they would come out here and see that it's rough. I mean, there's hardly any job opportunities out here. I mean, the people, they still live in poverty, and they're still oppressed. And, I just want them to realize that we're, we're, we're still here, and we're not just some, you know, I don't, I don't know what the word is, but,
Do your best, It don't matter. I'm not here to judge or anything.
yeah, but just to tell them that we're still here, and we're not gone. I mean, our people are still here. I mean, our language is dying out. When the language dies out, the people die out. The whole tribe dies out.
It's the whole policy, right? Kill the Indian, save the man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They basically did it. I mean, I can't even speak my language.
Well, that's not your fault. They had
Yeah.
people. They captured our grandparents, and then our grandparents spoke to us in English.
English, because they
Yeah.
didn't want that to happen to us. What
Yep.
happened to them in boarding school, I understand that,
Yeah.
but I would just like them to see that we
They're-
need more opportunities out here on the reservation. We need something more. I mean, I'm not trying to be greedy or
No.
but like, we do need something more. I mean, I'm not too sure what it is that we need, but we do need it.
We need hope, right?
Basically.
Can I share something with you, and then we'll go ahead and call it quits after this, okay?
Sounds good.
So, there's a YouTube video. This guy named Johan Hari, he does a TED Talk. And in this TED Talk, they talk about Rat Park. And basically, in Rat Park, there was a researcher who, noticed that the rats kept dying in the cage. And he looked at the cage and said, then he started thinking critically, and he was like, well, what's wrong with the cage is the only thing they give them is food, water, food and water, and drugs. In that cage, every single time, the rats always died. So what he decided to do is create another cage, and this cage, he put balls, tunnels, loads of cheese, food. It gave them all the drugs, opioids, cocaine, meth, whatever, you know, and then he also gave them loads of friends so they could go and make connections, have relationships with, like this includes like mating and whatnot, right? So, and he found that when you look at the two cages, the cage that had absolutely nothing in there, just the food, drugs, and whatever, and that was it. Those rats always died. In this other cage, the rats hardly ever partook of the drugs. You cannot really eradicate drugs, but none of the rats died. So when you look at our own, Tuba City is a larger population compared to some of the areas out, on the reservation. So there's a little bit more here compared to other places, but, still we could do more things. Like we could do things for self-defense, we could, have sports, we could do soccer. There's a number of things that could happen that could potentially provide jobs for people. But also, in addition, okay, so taking that study and then building upon that, there's a guy, I believe, out in New Zealand. That actually, in New Zealand, they had a population that was always dying of drugs, drug-related deaths. And so what they did was their government decided that they were going to use this Rat Park model. And what they did was they took away all the legislation, the punitive approaches to drugs, and what they did was instead of using that to keep people away from resources, which they do now here in America and in the Navajo Nation, is they use that money for people who people who were, drug related crimes and whatnot, they put him they put that money into like resources so they could, access that. So if they were caught with drug related crimes or anything like that, they put them into counseling. They gave them loans. They asked them, what do you want to do? What is it in the morning that drives you, that makes you want to go out, wakes you up in the morning, makes you feel good? And so they gave them jobs and, doing those types of things. And then 10 years later, they went back and they looked at their study and they found that drug use had actually dropped 50%.
Wow.
Yeah. So I am dedicated to, you know this kind of information and sharing this type of stuff. So I just wanted to let you know that I see you, and I I saw you picking up trash, and that's how I got to, I was like, hey, that's somebody who's picking up trash, and I figured that we are like-minded people and we could talk about this, and so that's why I have an interest in I had no idea you were homeless. So, but, I try to do the best I can. I don't have all the resources and I don't have a lot of money. I mean, I'm unemployed, I'm a counselor who's unemployed, you know, and, I'm trying to wait for all of that to go through. But, if I can in any way, if I have it, but if I have anything available, I will try to help you how I can.
I
Okay.
appreciate it.
And also the community. Okay.
I appreciate it.
So,
Thank you.
so that'll end our our interview.
Thank you, Michelle. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thank you. It's been a pleasure, Dylan.
Always.